My name is Ian Glass. I am Ari's youngest, emphasis on young, youngest brother.
Hello, my name is Scott Glass, and I'm a brother.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm Ari's daughter, the second one, middle child.
Hi, my name is Eamon Glass. I am Ari's oldest nephew.
Hello, I'm Melissa Glass, Ari's wife and partner in crime.
Hi, Ari. It's Mom.
My name is Ava. I am Ari's daughter.
My name is Marcos, and I reluctantly consider Ari to be a friend.
It's Bryn, your younger brother's youngest daughter.
It's me, your sister-in-law, and OG birthday buddy.
Hi, Ari. This is your aunt, Nada, Gareth, and Janelle.
Happy birthday, Tati!
Ari, roommate, consigliere, friend, and brother.
One word I would use to describe Ari is twin. As I've gotten older, I realized how similar we are.
One word to describe Ari, I would say is competitive. Anyone who's ever played any kind of game with him knows exactly what I mean.
In one word, I would describe Ari as older, especially this time of year when he's not 2, but a full 3 years older than me.
And one word I'd use to describe Ari would be admirable. I think that as the oldest one of our cousins, the first to graduate and move into the professional workplace, he's always been someone that I look up to as a role model for how to do things the right way. Ari's super well respected, not just professionally, but among all our family and friends, and I've always valued him super highly as a resource and someone who I'm grateful to always have in my corner.
And one word to describe Ari is hardworking.
My word for you is uncle, and that's because you're my uncle and you're a really good uncle, and I've heard you're uncle to some other people and they think you're a pretty good uncle too.
My word is generous in attention, time, and energy. You're always there, generous.
If I had to pick one word to describe Ari, I'd say he's a fucking good friend. That is a single word derived from the Latin root fucker.
My favorite memory with Ari would just have to be the almost 31 years we've been together. Whether we were dating, engaged, and raising 3 children in the city and in Glenview, just good times all around.
And my favorite memory with Ari is probably just all the trips that we've been on, whether it was my 10th birthday trip to San Diego or just all of the college visits we've been on. He always knows how to choose a good restaurant, and even if it's not that good, we make the most of it.
For my memory, first thing that comes to mind is watching the Cubs win the World Series with him. That was a pretty special moment. As anyone that knows our family knows, the Cubs mean more than just baseball. They're more than just a baseball team for us. So seeing them finally win it and being able to watch it with him was really cool.
From late nights at Wags and Wishes, to sitting on the back porch at Gibbons listening to Pink Floyd and Elvis Costello. From long lunches at the Broker's Inn to inconvenient late night visits to share a box of Diana cigars. From introducing me to my wife and standing in our wedding to affording me the honor of standing rows. From fumbling through the raising of 6 great young adults between the 2 of us to setting them on their way. And from everything in between and since, I cannot in good faith limit myself to a single memory. We've been around a while.
As far as a favorite memory goes, the first few that come to mind, I'm not quite sure this is the forum for me getting into, so I'll actually keep it really tender and just mention way back when Inman, I don't know, he was maybe 2.5, he got really sick at one point and was very dehydrated, and we took him into the emergency room and they said, like, you know what, we really need to admit him and keep him overnight. I think maybe we were even there for a couple nights, but that first night, Tracy was at home with Bryn, and it was a tough situation. I felt just suddenly extremely isolated and obviously stressed because this is the first time that anything like this had happened to me as a father. And I remember talking to Ari on the phone, and I didn't really say anything about, like, I'm feeling kind of stuck sort of out on an island, kind of alone in all of this. But I'm sure he just kind of detected that from the sound of my voice. And in any case, we got off the phone, and I don't know what time it was, maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And about 20 minutes later, there he was in the room. He just, like I said, he just knew that I was just a little over my head, just in a little bit of trouble there. So he came and just hung out in the room for, I don't even know how long it was, maybe 30, 45 minutes. But it just made all the difference. And it was just one of those things where it's like, that's right, this guy, he's there for me. He has my back in ways that I hope that I have been able to return throughout my life, but that I just know we will have that kind of thing for each other as long as we're both here.
For memory, without picking a specific one, I'd say that I really cherish all the small things that we've been able to do together since I've kind of taken that next step into being an adult. This could be as simple as grabbing a beer after work or meeting up for lunch when I'm in the loop, but I've always really enjoyed just being able to sit, talk one-on-one, pick his brain about anything that's on my mind. And once again, I'm just super appreciative to have that type of support when I'm navigating both a career and anything life has kind of thrown my way. So
memory with Dad is probably when we went to the Bears-Bills game together a couple years ago. We both went, just us two, and it was one of the coldest games the Bears have ever played. I think the wind chill was -10 out, and the stadium was half empty because they were horrible. But I really wanted to go because it was only my second ever NFL game, and they're playing the Bills. And Dad was nice enough to take me, or to go with me, just us two. And even though it was freezing and the place was half empty and we were losing by a bunch, we had so much fun, bundled up in all our layers and just watching football and having a good time. And it's definitely one of my favorite memories with him.
My funny story for you is this. We had 2 goldfish when you were 2 years old, and we decided to let you try feeding them and watching them. We loved watching them. One night, Dad and I went out. When we came home, we found out that the gold one died. It was belly up, and we didn't know if we should tell you about deaths or if we should just tell you we flushed him down the toilet. So Dad decided, being Dad, let's just tell him we flushed him down the toilet. You got so excited you couldn't wait for the black one to die because you wanted to see it flushed down the toilet.
My one strongest memory of you is when you were 2 and you loved eating crayons. I would babysit you in my apartment at Bradley University, give you a coloring book and crayons, and then had to keep an eye on you to stop you from eating orange, brown.
When Ben asked for a quick video for Ari's birthday, a dozen jokes at least popped into my mind instantly. And for the reflection, not a single one of them was remotely appropriate for a family video recording. So let me just say, I met Ari 22 years ago, business school orientation. I believe the first time we talked was at a bar, PJ Clark's if I remember correctly. And Ari's quick wit and generosity were obvious from the start. He's one of the good guys and a lot of fun.
We were walking to the cabin in the snow in Lakewood. It was just the 2 of us, and I can't remember a single thing we talked about, but we were so focused and unfocused that we were about halfway to the campground before we realized we had veered to the right instead of going to the cabin, even though we both knew the path very well. But it was just a special time that we were able to share and talk and be without the kids and without our spouses, and it was a specific time that I remember and cherish.
Mine is actually on a similar note, and I have so many memories with you, I can't even pinpoint one, but I would say overarching, any time that I've woken up earlier than your kids and had coffee with you at the banquette in your house. I just love sitting down and talking to you while you're reading your newspaper, and we just catch up on what's happening. I always love hearing what's going on with you, and you're just the best, and you give me so much support. So any like little menial conversations we've ever had is just like really
I think a very funny memory. And that has to do with one day on our sailing trip where we had to swim ashore. And it was a pretty long distance to get from the boat to the beach, which had all the bars, and that was ultimately the objective. And so we put our soggy dollars in plastic bags, we put on our fins and masks, and we had to huff it and puff it pretty far to get to the fun beach. We had to go around some rocks and so forth. So we all set out, and initially we were swimming together, the four of us, with Josh and Steve, and after a while we started swimming at different speeds, and we all kind of separated. By the time we got to the beach, we were all there except for Ari, and obviously there was a little bit of concern about Ari and where he might be, and we did what any good friend would do, which is we went straight up to the bar and had a toast to our good friend Ari and to his passing, and wished him well. We may have even poured a bit of a drink on the beach in his memory. After several hours of cocktails at the beach, we realized maybe someone ought to go back and look for Ari, see where he might be. And so I swam back to the boat, and as I was swimming back to the boat, I was also looking at the bottom of the ocean, just in case Ari was there taking a nap. And made it back to the boat with all hopes of finding Ari taking a nap, only to find that the boat was empty. And so now I was truly worried for Ari. He had not turned back to the boat. So what I did is I swam to the closer beach, the one that had nothing on it. All of the fun was on the far beach. The boring side had absolutely nothing on it. So I swam to the boring beach, I started walking up and down, and what do I find but a romantic couple, I believe they might have been newlyweds, with a third wheel, and that was Ari. So apparently on our long swim to the beach, Ari got tired, gave up, and thought the most prudent thing to do was go to the deserted beach with the romantic couple where he hung out for a few hours. And I was glad that that couple had a dinghy and could give us a ride to the fun beach. So obviously our friends were relieved to know that Ari was not in fact at the bottom of the ocean, but he was safe and sound, and we celebrated with more cocktails.
Happy birthday, Ari. Love you, man.
I just want to say happy birthday to Ari. Best oldest brother I can ask for. So hope it's a good one, and love it. Yeah.
Ari, bro, older, 3-year older bro. Happy birthday. From the roof all the best.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Dad. Love you.
Here to wish you a very, very happy birthday and many more healthy, happy, prosperous years to come. I don't know, what, 200 more? 300? Who cares? Nobody's counting.
Ari, big dog, happy birthday. Hope this coming year treats you well, and I love you. Bye.
I love you so much, Dad. Happy birthday.
I wanted to wish you a happy birthday and tell you how proud I am of the man you are, the father, the husband. You're really terrific. Guess what? For your birthday, I'd be happy to give you a box of 64 crayons. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ari. Love you and wish you all the best.
Wish Ari a good happy birthday. You're still a fucker, but happy birthday, fucker. Appreciate you.
And I look forward to our next adventure. Happy birthday, buddy.
I appreciate having a son like you. You're the best, and you're the best husband, father, brother, uncle, nephew, cousin. We all love you so much.
And finally, I am Ben Glass, Ari Glass's son. One word I would have to describe Ari is 2 words, so fight the wall on that one. I would say role model. I think what I really love about my dad is the ability to demonstrate what it means to be a good man. And I think from just being the perfect role model for me growing up, I think showing me how to save my money and talking to me, just being just extremely blunt just my whole life. And I think that goes a really long way. And I think showing the difference between working hard for yourself and putting yourself first, and working hard to help others and putting others first. And I think his ability to just stack good karma is such an amazing skill. And I think the biggest thing I love about him being a role model is the amount of little things he does for random people that he'll never meet again, solely just because it's the right thing to do. And I think my favorite moment, I'm gonna sound like everybody in this video could, if I'd asked them to list their favorite 10 moments, they would still struggle to do that because they probably have a billion good moments with you, and I'm no different. Obviously, I can go the simple route and just be like, in 2nd or 3rd grade, learning how to play every sport. Like every weekend in the summer, we were out either golfing or playing catch or learning how to skate, kinda, or like playing hockey or playing catch or going to the batting cages. Like looking back and seeing our neighbors do that, I would give a year off my life to relive a day of that. But I think the moment that sticks out even more than that is like a random Tuesday night. I'm talking about Ben Jeopardy. It's not even just the Ben Jeopardy. I'm talking about us playing. And I mentioned the level 500 question is for my room, and it's what is the sign that I made about like the world record that Meade Gardner broke. And it was like me, I think Ava and Dad sitting at the table, and Ava and Mom look at me like I'm stupid, like what are you talking about? Because also this is like a couple months ago. You know, you broke a world record, what are you even talking about? Like what? This is just some stupid YouTube thing probably when you were younger. And within like, it didn't take him very long to remember. But my dad goes, oh, you and Gardner set the world's longest kill in Fortnite? And everybody just brushed over our path, they started joking, we started going on a random side tangent. That's all I can really think about for the next like couple of hours, because I think I mentioned it probably once or twice to the family, and then it was obviously in my room. But like, a lot of time, it happened in 2021. So something that I mentioned and talked about and was super passionate about, but also felt like nobody in our family was listening to, because partially, I don't know why you would, something that I was super passionate about, he remembered 5 years later. And I think that's huge, because it shows how much effort you put into being a parent. And I talk about that a little bit to your face, but I don't think you truly understand how much I appreciate the little things, and like you learning by choice or not by choice, the random memes and brain rot that we talk about, like the 6-7s and all that stuff. It looks stupid in the moment, and it is stupid funny, but it shows like the effort that you put in, and I really appreciate that. I would love to be the last person to wish you happy birthday in this video. Somebody has a better video than me. Like even while making this, I'm like, I can make you cry right now. It probably isn't better than this person. So roll to the last one. Peace.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, video for Ari Glass. Take 1. First, Ben. With all due respect, I know the difference between portrait and landscape when making a video, Mr. Scorsese. I don't know what kind of kid you raised, Ari, but this guy is a little bit out of control. He's going to be explaining to me what bacon is next. Anyways, we have been through some wars, not battles, wars. From making no money, to making some money, to making good money, to having kids in college and back to no money again. But it has been great, man. Happy for you. Hopefully by the time you get this, it'll be after our dinner. So you should be nursing a bit of a hangover, hopefully. Unfortunately, we don't have Liars Club to tear up into the wee hours of the morning, but I'm sure you will find some other great things to do. With all that, keep on keeping on, brother. Talk to you later.
Oh!